The Invisible War. How universities undermine the Brazilian middle class and the rule of law. What most Brazilians never see is that the university has become one of the primary battlefields of Marxist cultural warfare. This war is not fought with tanks or slogans in the streets. It is fought silently, inside classrooms, curricula, and academic language. In Brazil's federal universities, many tenured professors trained in ideological systems hostile to the West actively promote a worldview based on permanent conflict, class resentment, civilizational guilt, the false binary of oppressor versus oppressed. This framework is not neutral, it is strategic. The real target is the Brazilian middle class. The middle class represents professional merit, legal predictability, institutional stability, respect for contracts and due process of law. Marxist cultural theory identifies this class as the main obstacle to political control. By teaching students that law is merely an instrument of oppression, due process is a bourgeois illusion, institutions exist to protect privilege rather than rights. Universities gradually delegitimize the very foundations of a free society, the attack on due process of law. The rule of law depends on presumption of innocence, individual responsibility, equality before the law, objective procedures in ideological classrooms. These principles are reframed as structural violence, formalism serving elites, legal fictions imposed by the West. This prepares future lawyers, judges, teachers, and bureaucrats to justify legal shortcuts, accept selective enforcement, tolerate exceptionalism for the greater good. A society that abandons due process does not become more just. It becomes arbitrary. Why most people don't notice. This transformation is invisible to the majority of Brazilians because it occurs in academic language, not public debate. It unfolds over decades, not election cycles. Its agents are civil servants with lifetime tenure. Its effects appear later, in courts, schools, media, and bureaucracy. By the time society feels the consequences, the narrative is already normalized. Hostility toward Western civilization is not accidental. Students are taught to resent Europe and the West using simplistic moral frameworks while ignoring a basic fact. Brazilian culture, law, language, institutions, science, and moral tradition are predominantly European in origin, far more than in many countries from which these ideological narratives are imported. This is not decolonization, it is civilizational sabotage. Conclusion: this is not academic diversity, it is institutional capture, not cultural debate, but long-term ideological occupation. A university that undermines the middle class, the rule of law, civilizational continuity does not educate citizens. It manufactures compliance. Active citizen, unmasked state for freedom, for merit, for truth.